Not big women, just regular choices. Listen, I know you,
I was
man.
being serious, goddammit.
I know you, yeah, but I understand like those kind of situations come your way more often than not. And
Hey, and it's my duty to please that booty. Just saying.
yeah, we're just gonna start this shit live.
The only time I caught the Holy Ghost was when I was in church drinking.
Like they're two dumb dudes. Welcome to the latest episode of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Bruh.
Yo.
See, I don't know how I feel about this movie. And I've been thinking about it for a couple days now. By a couple
Really?
days, I mean yesterday and today.
Yeah.
I literally walked out of the theater thinking, I don't know how I feel about it. Not necessarily in a bad way, just you know, just in general, like because I just have specific feelings about it.
Mm. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of mixed emotions about it. Nothing bad though, just a lot of things that I felt were brought to light.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Huh. Uh-huh. Well,
Yeah.
with that being said, welcome to the latest episode of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. It's your boy Sarath, aka Makazi.
And your boy Chris Brown, aka Red Ford Delta. How's everybody doing out there?
Well, I hope their chin ain't glass.
Mm.
The movie we talking about this week is, it's the hot movie right now. It just came out this past
Yeah.
weekend.
Yes,
Got a lot
indeed.
of hot actors in there. By hot, I mean,
Yes.
popularity wise.
I mean,
Yeah.
ladies might think something different, you know.
Yeah. Whatever y'all think, keep it in your pants. All right, ladies, keep it in your pants.
They went to go see all that chocolate run across the screen. Yeah, you know what we're talking about.
All right. So I mean, for the audience at home, you tell these people, what did we watch this week?
We went and watched Creed Dress.
Tres. No. See, with Creed, I had to whoop out the boxing glove. Yeah. That the little
That,
Mac boxing glove.
that glove's the same size as you.
Bro. But there's a specific reason why I have this.
Okay.
Right? So for those listening, I have a boxing glove on screen and I'm about to flip it real quick. So when you watch it on YouTube, you'll be able to see why I'm wearing it.
The fuck is that? You got okay. Okay.
I
Okay.
got the Rocky glove. I
Okay.
got the Rocky glove.
That's something huge.
Yeah, bro. It's like it looked like it belonged like Super Mario Brothers.
I'm about to say, I'm about to say Super Mario Brothers.
I think it's like a 12 or 14 ounce glove. I don't know. They
So it's actually
Theodora sent this to me when they sent the like it was like the Rocky collection of
so
shoes.
it's actually an official, like, I mean, not official, but like you can actually spar with that.
Yeah. If I want to do like warm ups, I just want to do like working out shit.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought it was more like for design.
No, because
Or
I think if you were gonna use them for like actual boxing gloves, they would have like the lacing or something that would hold it on better.
yeah. Well, I mean, I got the Everlast ones when I'm punching the bag, but those are, you know, for for sparring.
Yeah.
Just
These
saying.
I think just for doing mitt work and things like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, man, Creed 3, man. Like
Whew.
I
This one.
wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about this movie. I mean, it is Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'll be honest, I haven't seen Creed 2 yet.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen Creed 1. I haven't seen Creed 2.
I mean, well, with that being said, I'm not gonna say you don't need to see Creed 2, but little things in Creed 3 will make more sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like Creed 3 you could have watched by itself.
When I was watching it, I didn't feel like I was like out of the loop on something. I didn't feel like if I was missing some background noise on
Mm.
certain people and things like that. Other than maybe what's the girl's name?
Tessa Thompson?
Yeah, Tessa Thompson. What was her character's name?
Oh God. I think you called it B.
Yeah, whatever her name was. I think she was maybe in Creed 2. Did she get established as a musician?
Yeah. And that's when they realized that the baby might be deaf and everything.
Yeah.
And the white dude Drago that gets his hand broken.
Yeah.
He's the villain in Creed 2.
Yeah. I knew he was the villain in there.
Okay.
And because I remember seeing Creed 1 and Tessa Thompson, like she just was the girl. There was not really much about the music in that. So when
Yeah.
they said, oh, she was a musician, I was like, oh, they must have did a big time jump from whenever to Creed 3. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was okay, off rip. Did you like the movie?
Yes, indeed.
Mm.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
That was a very strong, like, yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. I mean, my mind went on so many different levels watching it.
Yeah,
It's just like, I think I think we're gonna dive into a lot of things in this one.
yeah. I think so too. Um, I don't know if I like. I say the thing is, I like the movie, but I don't know if I like it as a Rocky movie or a Creed movie. So okay. Let me back this up. Okay, so when I think of Rocky, when I think of Creed,
Hmm.
I think of sports movies,
Okay.
specifically boxing. Boxing. It's a drama. It's a
Hmm.
drama built around boxing. This one, to me, felt more like I don't want to say an action movie, but it felt more like it was in along the lines of like kickboxer or blood sport than it was a movie about boxing, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I can see that because
It's more like a
it,
fighting movie than it is a
yeah,
boxing movie.
it was okay. So yeah, with that being said, I don't think it was a boxing movie. Boxing was what was used to make the movie happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it didn't feel so much like a movie about boxing. It was a drama that
Hmm.
just happened to have two boxers in it,
Mm.
and that was their connection, basically, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I wasn't sure. Like, I like the movie, but I don't know if I like it as a boxing movie or as a movie within the Rocky thing. If it was its own thing, I
Yeah.
think I like it more actually.
Mm. Gotcha.
So
I
yeah,
mean, I know I watched some reviews when it was first being made, and I know Sylvester Stallone felt the way about it.
yeah.
But I actually wish he would have had a cameo in it. You
I
know what I
did
mean?
too. I did too. I know I like that they brought him up some,
Mm.
but like I wish he had a cameo, but at the same time, well, you know what? No, maybe I do wish he had a cameo. Well, I think we'll
Yeah,
get
I
into
mean, because it's a branch off of his story. Well, not his story, but I mean, it is his story. He wrote it, didn't he? He wrote like the first.
well, he wrote like the first Rocky movie and stuff like that, and like maybe some of those earlier ones. But I
Mhm.
feel like at some point, Adonis Creed has to become his own person.
Indeed, but I still feel like, I mean, it would have been dope like when Adonis accepted the match or whatever. It would have been cool for Sylvester Stallone just to show up like, "Hey, kid, I see what's going on."
Yeah,
Give him like a little speech or something. And then
yeah,
that's just something because it's Sylvester Stallone. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But
Hey,
it's
okay. Yeah, I see what you're doing. Might not want to do it that way. You know what I mean?
yeah, that yes, yeah.
That was a terrible Sylvester Stallone.
Oh God, let's jump into this movie because my mind is racing.
All
But on
right.
that note,
Before we jump into it, I
yeah,
mean, as always, bro,
yes, indeed.
what you drinking? I mean, you got the Apollo Creek colors on, so I hope your
Oh,
drink is worthy of
that
Apollo.
that good American Tennessee whiskey
Okay,
with some sangria.
bro, you went masculine to soccer mom in like 2 seconds.
Fuck out of
That ain't
here.
even like oh, this is a dry red, and stuff like no, it's a sangria.
It was in the refrigerator,
Bro.
and I got to get up early.
Yeah, you probably got on some poom poom shorts with that shit.
No. Oh man,
Yeah. Yeah, your boxing shorts is real short if you drink a sangria, bro.
nah,
Just
hell no. No shit. Well, Mike Tyson was always short,
yeah.
and nobody talks shit about him.
Well, I mean, that's Mike Tyson.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm sure someone talks shit about him. But ain't sure as hell ain't gonna be me.
Man.
No, but I'm drinking. So I was back home
Hmm.
this week, so I came back with a couple things. One
Okay.
thing, and I'm actually gonna be popping it open today, just for
What you
the
got?
pop. Sugarland Shine, peanut butter and jelly moonshine.
That was from back in Massachusetts.
Oh, I got it in Massachusetts, but it's from Tennessee. When we went to the
That's what I was looking at. Yeah, I was gonna say I know where that place is.
yeah. Yeah, I just saw peanut butter and jelly because I like the peanut butter whiskey.
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, let me see what this peanut butter moonshine's like. But I also got this.
Okay.
Drinking. This is called Out of Order American Sour Raspberry Sorbet.
And is it alcoholic?
Yeah, it's a sour.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's got a dog on it, so I'm gonna
The dog looks
check
like
it
he's
out.
fucked up.
I mean, he looked like a robot. Like I got another flavor by them, and it's got like the themes on the different the packaging
Mhm.
different. So this one looked like a robot. No,
Mhm.
yeah.
All right,
Let's pop open these drinks and get to this movie because
let's do it.
you seem excited about it. Again,
There's
it's
a whole
fresh in your memory. So,
there's a whole lot going on.
oh, is it so? Are you wearing your American flag stuff strictly because of the movie, or were you just feeling real patriotic today?
Just honestly, dude, just someone grabbed them and tried and matched it. Honestly,
Oh, dude, I mean, you went and you literally just saw the movie like a few hours ago, right?
yeah,
So you went to the theater in the
hmm
American flag shirt.
yeah.
So that's like
Well,
going to that's
it's
like
actually
going,
it's actually Old Navy.
but that's like going to Star Wars dressed as Mace Windu.
No, that's fucking retarded people. Just say it.
But there's nothing wrong with dressing up as your favorite character.
And look, you know what? As much shit as I want to talk, when Wakanda came out, Black Panther, everybody had their fucking dashikis.
Bro, I wanted to have a
I
dashi.
didn't.
I left mine at home.
I wore my Tims.
Close. That's the American dashiki.
Oh shit.
All right.
Oh man.
Cheers, bro.
All right, we're gonna do this. We'll get into it.
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers.
What kind of cup is that you got?
The Jack Daniels cut from the Jack Daniels distillery.
This is good. This would be better on the rocks.
I wouldn't doubt it. Excuse me. Ooh.
It would definitely be better on the rocks. But that did not look like a cup from the Jack Daniels distillery. That looked like something you got off of your Robitussin.
Oh no. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the tasting cup.
Yeah. I got a couple of them, like 12 of them.
Bro, I can see you just stuffing them in your pockets. Oh, they
I
giving
just
samples away. They're like you went to Whole Foods.
pretty much.
All
And
right,
just
so this movie is like ever since we logged on before we even started recording, you seemed high energy on this. Like it feels like it's touch a little bit of the Chris Brown soul.
mm.
Maybe your heart ain't too black today. So what you got? What's going in Chris Brown's mind when in regards to this movie?
Where do we start?
I mean, so what's the essentially in this story, Adonis Creed is retired. He's retired as champion.
Mm-hmm.
He's raising the next up and coming boxers.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Dame Anderson gets out of jail who knew Adonis when he was younger. And he's just looking, for some help, for some help to get back on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out that his motive is maybe a little more nefarious than, everyone else thought.
Yeah.
And that's what we got. So what you got?
Like I said, where do we start? Because like you said, he's like, what do you call him in the movie? Don King without the hair. He's a promoter now. You know what I'm saying? He has his
Yeah,
own
he's
his own
he's
gym.
essentially Mayweather slash Oscar De La Hoya right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And oh gosh, we jump around. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Okay. So
It's
first off, like, okay, so again at the beginning of the movie we find he had just won the title in South Africa,
mhm.
right? And then it jumps to him being retired. Could you walk away from your life dream like that? Of while
If
you're on top, while you're on top.
if you're on top, yeah, because you want to end on top. Why you think
No.
Why you think Tom Brady's still playing?
Yeah, but he didn't end on top.
Because he wants to end on top.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like Adonis Creed got to the end, he was on top and walked
Mhm.
away, which you should do. But like again, you saw Tom Brady, he went to the Buccaneers, won a Super Bowl, Cinderella story, cut it off
Mhm.
right there. But then he comes back, doesn't really have like the best year ever.
Mhm.
And then it's like, what do you do? I mean,
Mm.
like, could you walk away while you're on top, or do you come back and try to see if you can grab it one more time, or is the money that lucrative that you step in one more time?
Honestly, I think winners don't care about the money. It's I think oh, I want to say I heard Mike Tyson say it. It's like a drug. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You want to keep feeling it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you might get the money and everything that comes with it, but that's not your motive. Your
Yeah.
motive is that ring. Your motive is that belt. Your motive is, that cup. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Okay, but that's okay. Okay, understandable.
Hmm.
But when you've won 7 championships, when you've won every title and become undisputed champion, I don't think the attraction to that championship or that title is as strong as it used to be. So why does so can you when that happens, are you able to walk away when you should? Or because I know from wrestling,
Hmm.
there's people who, are chasing past glories and
Hmm.
they stay a few years too long, even not even a few, maybe some years way too long. You
Yeah.
know, I've seen plenty of wrestlers on the indie circuit who I used to watch on TV as a kid and like, used to rave about them. Now we're sitting in the same locker room wrestling in, the VFW in Indian Orchard. Like,
Mm.
it's like, do you walk away while you're on top or do you keep chasing it until all of a sudden you got like nothing left?
Mm.
You seen the wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually about Undertaker though, because I think he was so married to his gimmick,
Yep.
he couldn't walk away.
That's the thing is that,
You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know.
when people love when people love who you are,
Yep.
it's like you want to always give it to them. Like I said, it's like it's a drug. You want that feeling of the fans loving you. You want that
Mhm.
feeling of winning again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And of course, it never feels as good as the first time, but just knowing you still got it again. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
But I mean, is the attraction when you've gotten to the top of the mountaintop like that,
Hmm.
is the attraction the adoration of the fans, or is it the money? Because I mean, look at Mayweather. He
Hmm.
left while he was on top, but he right now he's doing exhibition matches against nobodies because he can get paid 5 mil a fight for fights he don't even have to train for. To me, that's just tarnishing his legacy.
I mean, yeah, because yeah, I can see that because it's almost like the love isn't there. You're for the money. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like
yeah,
Mike Tyson's last fight against Roy Jones. I don't know if you watched it, but I watched it because I want to see Mike get back in the ring.
yeah,
He said it. He'll do it all day again because it's for charity. He don't
yeah,
care about the money. That
yeah.
he loves the sport.
Well,
You know what
okay,
I'm saying?
so in Mike's case, yeah, I can believe that because when he finally left the first time, like
Hmm.
he had gotten taken for everything, pretty much
Mm,
lost everything, and all he had was just he was trying to recapture that and never got it back, and he just had to walk away on a low note, and this was his chance to walk away on his own terms.
mm,
Which if that happens, more power to him.
yeah.
I wonder if you know I don't know. I wonder if a lot of people could actually walk away when they're on top because, you know, all of a sudden you got all the titles. I should walk away right now, but then say, hey man, I'll pay you 25 mil to fight this dude. You were like,
Yeah.
sign me up.
Yeah. Especially if you know you can fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so the movie. It starts off with Adonis and his friend Dane
Yeah. When it was young.
as when they were younger. And they go into their history and how they grew up and the stuff they went through and everything, which they go through it throughout the movie. Like you don't find all that out at the beginning. You find out that Dame is the one that was boxing and he was really, really good. You
Yeah.
know what
He
I'm
was
saying?
like that. He was like that, the one that was like the promising boxer. And Adonis was just like the hang around or just a friend that was by his side.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You hear about that a lot, right? You hear about somebody
Hmm.
who's got a whole lot of promise and life doesn't go their way and
Yeah.
shit gets taken away.
I mean, and I think that's why I think the movies like it hits really, really hard for me is because oh gosh, it's so crazy. Like because I'm going back and forth with both characters. Like I'm not gonna say he sacrificed a lot because he sacrificed going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Trying to save Adonis's character, he pulled the gun out on him. But it goes into a deeper story because the dude they was fighting was a dude they used to abuse them when they were kids.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one gets the short end of the stick, and the
Yeah.
other one is able to succeed.
Yeah. The other one, by luck of life,
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't go down that path,
hmm,
and he's able to turn his life around and make something of himself.
yeah,
And then you got this other guy who had a lot of promise, but now he's got
hmm,
Adonis pretty much had a 20-year head start on him,
yeah.
you know? I feel for him. I feel for Dame in the
I
situation.
felt for both of them, which is it's not crazy. I understood both sides of it. And all right, ladies and gentlemen, we jump around.
Yeah.
Go see the damn movie. That's all I can tell you. Um, because Adonis's or Michael B. Jordan's character has that guilt on him,
Yeah.
and you don't know it when you see him. Like when he sees him lean on the car,
Mhm.
he's like, "Hey, man, can I help you? Whatever." He said, "Oh, you don't remember me," and he
Yeah.
figures it out. And then you see him slowly, like, okay, start to realize,
Yeah.
like his past caught up with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And shit, what do you do when that happens? I mean, I'm pretty sure we've all done some shit in our life that we're not proud of, or whatever the case may be.
I don't know. Like I like in those moments,
Hmm.
I feel for Adonis because I think like him, I would try to, if it's someone who I knew rode with me, ride or die, you know, to the end, and shit didn't go right in his life, and I have the chance to at least, help him get back on the right foot.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they both, he knows the truth of what happened that night. He knows if it wasn't for him starting that shit, you know,
But
Dame
see,
wouldn't have went in jail.
but it goes much deeper than that because he started it because
Listen, I'm not saying he was wrong for
yeah,
starting,
yeah,
but if he doesn't, lose his shit and swing on a guy who abused him, Dame never pulls out that gun.
true.
So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, you had every reason to do what you did, but your actions caused this other guy to lose 20 years of his life.
Mm.
So, at the end of the day, you can't really fault Dame for coming back with the mindset that he has.
Well, you can't fault him for that, and also for the fact of Adonis's mom keeping his letters from him,
Yeah.
and also Adonis not reaching out on his own. It's like a catch-22
Yeah.
because he might. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's 2023. If you want to find somebody, you can find them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I know they went to jail. If they write me, I can write them back. So it's like who's really wrong here? Because he could have reached out, but who's to say he didn't? Like if he would have got the letters, would he have responded?
I'll be honest with you.
Hmm.
Just from me, Adonis is wrong.
Okay.
To me, Adonis is wrong because not only is Dame in jail, I
Hmm.
know Dame is in jail because of some shit that I did.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. So in that instance, I think it's up to you to keep to keep not keep tabs, but like to keep contact
Yeah.
with him. Even if he's even and Dame, if Dame is upset and doesn't even want to call back or talk back or write back, whatever, it's
True.
still on you because that shit wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you, acting immature in that moment, whether you had reason to or not.
Mm.
Your boy, who you guys rode together, were like brothers. He's in jail now because of some shit you started.
Yeah.
You know, and I get
That's
the idea that Adonis is trying to atone for his mistake, so he's going to do whatever he can to help him get back on his feet.
yeah.
So, like, I wasn't upset at that.
Um. It's so crazy because I wasn't upset at any part of it. It's like I think that's why I really like it because my brain is still racing
Yeah,
on who I stand with,
yeah.
and I can't pick one. You know what I'm saying?
So here's why I'm on the fence of whether I like the movie or not.
Okay.
And it's because they had everything there to make this a very emotional and very cathartic movie of
It
like two brothers.
was. Okay, I'll let you keep going, but it was.
It was, but it could have went even fucking deeper.
Mm.
It could have been like, okay, so here's one thing that I did. I that okay, so it kind of glossed over certain like details to
Okay.
where I think if they delved a little deeper into them, it
Hmm.
would have, ramped up the emotion. For
Okay.
instance, when Adonis realizes that I don't know, at the beginning of the movie, you see Dame, he goes back to his apartment. It's a rundown apartment, and he's doing push-ups, doing whatever in the his
Hmm.
mirror, shadow boxing.
Yep.
And then he wins the title, and then Adonis confronts him. And then after the next time you see him, he's in a nice apartment with a girl doing pull-ups while Adonis is doing the thing.
Yeah.
I don't In my head when I was watching, I was like, did he get that apartment because he won the title?
Mm.
Here's the thing: what if he actually wasn't down on his luck when he got out of jail? What if he
Okay.
got out of jail and actually had something to go back to, but he was just pretending to be down on his luck to get to fucking to get to Adonis?
Hmm.
Because I thought that would have been, to me, that would have been even fucking more like, not only did you know, orchestrate this shit in order to get back at me, but like, you're actually, you're not down and out. You're not, struggling. You're
Hmm.
doing pretty good. It's just you're that jaded towards me that you constructed this whole thing in order to get back at me.
And that's what's so funny because the last when they fight, that fight is so deep,
Yeah.
in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you could just see after a while, you realize they don't want to hurt each other, but they have to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
You
how do you
saw
how do
like
you
they
how do
go
you, how do you make that decision?
well, you saw they go into like a trance almost,
Yeah,
and where they're
they
fighting every punch, everything they do is, you know, a
how they
piece of
grew up.
childhood is coming up,
Yeah.
which is dope. Actually, I was reading this thing about Michael B. I saw his interview with Michael B. Jordan. He was talking about how a lot of that, the way he did the fighting in there, he took from anime, Naruto,
Mm.
Dragon Ball Z, One Punch Man, things like that. Where like, you know, when he took that gut punch,
Yeah.
you saw the sweat
This
coming off the back.
no, that shit was dope. I was like,
Yeah.
yo,
So, and
like,
that's the thing. When I was watching it, I was like, this is a dope fighting movie.
mm,
I don't know if it's a great boxing movie
mm,
because I don't think the boxing was all that great, but
mm,
as a fighting movie with them going to the trench and all that shit, he gets
yeah,
knocked to the ropes and he feels like he's on a cage. I was like,
yeah,
that's dope as hell.
yeah. And then when they went, he had him in the corner, and that had the what was the pillow or whatever wrapped around.
Yeah.
It's like it's like I think I'm so fucked up by it because my main message, they would say get to the end of the movie, is when they get in the locker room, they're talking together. And if you look at the imagery of it and everything else, Michael B. Jordan's in all white, and um what's
Names
his
in all
name?
black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the dark side and the light side from
Yeah.
the same side of the fence.
Yeah.
One just got a better deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they said we were just kids. It's basically saying we didn't deserve the life that we were given.
Yeah.
And one of them, or I think I can't think of his name.
Adonis or Dame or
The Dane, but his character, he took the dark side of it and fed it and fueled it. You know what I'm saying? And Michael B. Jordan got the brighter side of it.
do you think he fueled it? Do you think he fueled it or do you think he was just like, all right, these are the cards I'm dealt. I'm gonna lean into it. Cause like he said he was in jail for 18 years and he had extra 2 years tacked on,
Hmm.
you know? And I mean, again, jail changes a person, you know?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I think he fueled it, but he had to fuel it.
Yeah, in
It
order to
was.
survive.
It was. Yeah, it wasn't like what he wanted to do. He had to do it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And it made him to be the person he came out to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really fucked me up about it because it's like how many children go through that on an everyday basis. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Cause a lot of times you'll like, and I'm no expert, but like you'll see some children who resort to that survival methodology, that's those survival instincts where
Mhm.
you could look at on the surface and see the things that they're doing, and it's like, hey, you're a bad kid. You're just
Mhm.
doing this shit for no reason. You're picking on people. You're exerting force and doing all these things, and it's so easy to write someone off as a bad egg. Like
Yeah.
when you look at the life that they've lived, you look at the the choices that they were given, and they basically just did act in a ways to survive.
Yeah.
Like, without those choices, they wouldn't be here right now. So it's like, yeah, on the one hand, it could be viewed as something bad, but on the other hand, like they're just trying to survive the best way they know how,
Yeah.
you know? And like then you see like someone like Michael B. Jordan who's trying to forget that part of their childhood. Maybe he feels guilty about it. Maybe
Mhm.
he's just it's a life that he doesn't want to remember anymore.
Mhm.
And you can't blame someone for doing that either because like, if you've worked your ass off to get to a point where you can live comfortably, you have money, you have status, you're able to not only, create a good life for yourself, but for the
Mhm.
people around you and other people like that. Like you don't want to go back to that part of your life where you were struggling.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to another part of the movie, where he actually gives a Dame a chance and lets him fight Felix. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were saying that he stood more with Felix than with his friend
Yeah.
during the match.
Yeah.
And I said, if that was me, I would have had to be neutral because this is my moneymaker on one side,
Yeah.
and this is my friend that I also have a lot of deep guilt for.
Yeah. Well, I
You
mean,
know
but
what
at the
I'm saying?
same time, it's like, okay, you have this guy that you have a whole lot of guilt for his life turning out the way it did.
Hmm.
On one hand, you feel like that's your fault that his
Hmm.
turned out that way.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you have an entire life that you've spent the last 20 years building, and a lot of
Mm.
it is riding on this other guy, you know? And it's
Mm.
one of those things where it's like, for me, it's hard to hold that against Michael B. Jordan or Adonis for kind of leaning towards, Felix because it's that what's it called? I forget the term for it, but um it's basically thinking something's the best just because it's most recent.
Mm.
It's the idea that like it's the idea that like, your top five your top five rappers are
Hmm.
usually based off of like who you've most recently listened to, not necessarily who you've loved your entire life.
Okay.
Or your favorite song ever might be more akin to like, oh yeah, well, okay, these are the songs I've been listening to the last 10 years. So this is what I remember. So I
Hmm.
can see him feeling like this is life I've been trying to forget. And this
Hmm.
is life I've been invested into for the last, 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
And so it can feel like, hey, this dude that I owe a lot to is ruining everything I just spent the last 20 years of my life trying to build up.
Mm. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. That's the moneymaker. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know. It's a really really emotional ride for me. You
It
know what I'm
is.
saying?
It is. And from a story standpoint,
Mhm.
I like it. From a movie making aspect, I felt like they could have gotten deeper. I felt like they
Mm.
could have gotten real deep with it. This shit is good, by the way.
So looks like
Raspberry
grape,
sorbet.
looks like grapefruit juice.
Mwah.
Oh,
I ain't kissing you, motherfucker.
I'm about to say,
I'm kissing the drink.
don't do that shit on fucking camera. Oh man.
But no, it's like, I mean, from a movie making aspect, I was like the moment from when Adonis confronts Dame on the beach to the moment they make the match. It's like
Mm.
10 minutes, 15 minutes. It should have been like this long. Like to me, you done retired. You done
Hmm.
did all this stuff. Like you should, some more shit needs to happen
I mean, well,
before
probably
you.
for camera purposes, they probably had to cut down production. I thought the 15 minutes was worth it. For one, they had one of my favorite songs playing, but but it wasn't the remix.
Which one?
The Watcher 2
Oh yeah,
with
yeah, yeah. With
with
Dre.
Jay-Z and Rakim and
Yeah,
Dr. Dre.
yeah,
And that beat dropped. I was like, oh my
yeah.
God,
But
they
it was
put this in here.
original. Yeah, it wasn't the remix.
Yeah, I know,
The
but
remix
still,
with Rakim and Truth Hurts is. Mm. I got I
Look,
got the bro. I got that Rakim verse
look. What
memorized.
you say? My brain contains graphic things. No,
Young
yeah, you
traumatic teens and the addicts fiends. It's like watching the movie through a
do a
panoramic
panamatic
screen,
screen.
which means I can see the whole vision in the scene. Cash the topic
The object, a fatter
at a
pocket.
pocket. So take the cracker top, chop it.
For real. Look,
Yeah,
man. Look,
but no,
even
like
look, yeah, yeah.
okay. But so here's the thing. But like, okay, you in the aspect of seeing when he realizes he's been getting played by Dame
Mm-hmm.
to the point where he feels like he needs to come out of retirement to fight him. Not really much happened in between that other than he confronted him and then he had a conversation with Tessa Thompson. That's it. He should have been losing everything. He should have been fucking that happens. All of a sudden, all his other fighters are leaving because he just screwed over his champion. What's he gonna do to me?
Mm.
I mean, this dude, what's his name? I forget his name, like Wood Harris, the dude that
Duke,
played the trainer.
Duke. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wood Harris is his real name.
Yeah.
But Duke, like he goes, hey, you need to stay away from the gym for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever. But like it should have been more of that shit where he saw his everything he built
Mm-hmm.
like going down the drain. And then I would have had Dame on TV talking shit.
Mm.
Yeah, I knew him. He was like when I knew him since he was younger, whatever. He ain't nothing. I always been whatever. All that shit and just really ramping it up to where he's forced to come out of retirement.
Look, Wood Harrison, or yeah,
Duke,
Wood Harrison, Duke, whatever. He got one of the coldest lines in the movie. When
I think I know
somebody
which one
shows
it
you
is
who,
too.
huh?
I think I know which one it is.
Yeah, when somebody shows you who they really are, believe them.
Yeah. Because even now, like when Dame starts fighting Felix and he's sparring with him and he tries to injure him,
Mm-hmm.
it showed that like Adonis was concerned,
Mm-hmm.
but he also like felt like he couldn't come down hard on Dame.
Dang, yeah.
But I felt like it should have been more.
D-
It should have been Felix should have been more pissed. The motherfucker, you're the one that brought him in here. And he's trying to injure me. He was punching me in the arm out. Like there could have been so much more fucking conflict that
Mm.
really ramped it up to make me go, I'm gonna need to come out of retirement to fight this motherfucker because he's tearing down everything I fucking built up.
See, I don't think. Well, okay, I see your point of it, but for me, I feel like if I was in that position, I wouldn't feel like he's seen everything I built up. I'd be sitting there trying to figure out what are you doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think there was enough conflict from when he found out that Dame orchestrated fucking Drago getting his hand broken
Mm-hmm.
to him announcing that he's gonna come back and fight?
Do I think there should be more build up?
Yeah, but do you think there was enough conflict in that moment to warrant Adonis coming out of retirement to fight?
Um, no, I thought it was just enough.
Mm.
I mean,
Bruh, come on.
it could have went more, but I thought it was just enough
But
because
if it could have been more, it should have been more.
well, I mean, because well, he's on TV talking to Stephen A. Smith.
Even
You know what
that.
I'm saying?
Yep.
Which the only okay, this is probably the only part that pissed me off. How he calling that easily?
I mean, you can. He got the number. But here's the thing. Okay, so again, here's the thing. It kind of just skirted over. I would have showed Dame really relishing in being the champ, getting into that spotlight. Because other than the thing at the beach,
Excuse me.
you didn't really do it. Like,
Well, I think they didn't do that because he didn't do it for the fame. He did it to get back at Adonis.
yeah, but like I don't know. Maybe because when I saw it, it literally went from 180 from I got nothing to all
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden I got an apartment, a girl, I got a whole crew behind me. Me personally, I would have loved it if he already had that crew. If he was already training at a boxing gym, but then he goes
Mm.
over to Adonis acting like he just, he's got nothing.
Mm.
Then it would have
Okay.
been really been like, nah, not now you're not just looking for some help. You're here
Yeah.
to fucking tear me down because you felt like I'm the one that ripped apart your life. So now you're here to take away mine. Well, that's all. I just felt like it's here. Like it was at a 6 as far as the motivation for everyone, when
Mm-hmm.
it could have been at a fucking 10.
Okay. Let's backtrack for a minute though, because this kind of threw me off and I want to know if I was thinking the right thing. When he's fighting Felix,
Mhm.
and they go to pull his mouthpiece out, and it's covered in blood, does that mean that he was biting on it that hard, or he got hit?
I think because it was full of blood and he tried to push it back in, right?
Yeah.
To me, it was one of those things where I don't th- I don't think he was comfortable feel like okay, the analogy is a wounded animal.
Okay.
He was kind of like a wounded animal. Like he's always been maybe he's always been the hunter. And in
Okay.
that moment, he felt like he was I can't show that I'm weak. Shove that shit
Oh.
back in.
Okay.
That's what
Okay.
I thought.
Okay.
You know?
I just thought that he was like so angry, like his anger was so heavy that he's even hurting himself trying to hurt the other dude.
Mm. I took it as as a moment when he was like, you know, he's on the hunt and I can't show weakness. I can't show weakness.
Mm,
It felt like the entire time. That's all he was trying to do is I can't show weakness.
mm,
You know? I don't know. Cause like one of the things I loved is when you know, it showed him going back to his apartment and working out on his own and stuff like that.
mm.
But like I wish
He
to
had
me,
that gel mentality. He washed his socks in his hands.
yeah. I wish they hadn't shown that. I liked it. I wish they hadn't shown it because I wish, like I said, I wish he was, and maybe this is just me like booking the movie for myself. I
Mhm.
wish he had, you know, on his own behind Adonis's like actually been in the gym, fucking getting ready for this shit, and then just pretending like he's, you know, got no skill and fresh out of jail and shit like that.
I don't know. Actually, I like the broke down scene.
And
It-
I do too. But like
Like,
the thing is, you had the broke down scene,
mhm.
then all of a sudden you had a scene of him in a nice apartment with a girl on the couch and calling in a
I
cell phone
mean,
calling. You
I mean,
didn't.
people plays bets. You know what I'm saying? He could have won whatever.
I understand, but you didn't get a sense of him. Ah, I got all this money now. I'm really give me that car. Give me this. Like
Because it wasn't his mo. His mo was to beat Adonis.
I understand that. I understand. But when you got someone who's got jail mentality,
Hmm.
then all of a sudden you see him, he just seems like a regular dude who was like, who this was a plan the entire time. It seemed like two different people.
I'm okay.
I think we're gonna agree to disagree, bro.
Nah, because I feel like okay, you know me.
Yep.
When my heart gets in something, I'm gonna do whatever's necessary to make it happen.
Yep.
And I've learned sometimes you got to give a hit to, you got to take a hit to give a hit. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if my mo is to hurt somebody by any means necessary, I don't care what comes with it as long as I got the job done. So I feel like Adonis was like, as long, or not Adonis, I feel like Dame was like, as long as I beat Adonis, oh, okay, I'll get the money. I might get the girl, I might get the house, but that is not what I want. I want to beat this person.
I understand that. But he
Mhm.
also said, you know what it's like being in jail for 20 years watching someone else live your life.
Yeah.
I wanted to see a little bit of Dame living that life that he thought he should have had.
Mm.
And then that way, when all of a sudden Adonis is on first take talking, now
Mhm.
he's calls in cocky and shit like that. He's like, yeah, I got everything. Like, you know, it was just one of those things where it literally went from 0 to 100. And I wish
Mm.
I would have seen him really relish in the life that he thought he lost because he was in jail.
Mm.
You know, and simultaneously, I would have loved to see that at the same time Adonis was losing everything he was fucking building up.
Mm.
You know, nobody would want to, I don't, you know, no fighters want to fucking work with him no more. He had a champion and he just lost all equity he had from the champion on a nobody.
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to fucking sign with him?
Mm.
You know? And
True.
that's the thing. It was one of those things where it felt like uh it felt like Felix lost and it felt like they had to get to the Adonis fight quickly. Whereas I
Mm.
thought it should have built up to that Adonis fight a little more. Like even if you know everybody's talking about, you know, fucking Dame fight this person, Dame fight. No, 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 no. Only person I'm fighting now is Baby Creed.
Mm. Okay.
It's just I don't
So
know. It was I felt like there were things that could have really ramped the emotion up to 100 instead of it's keeping it at 70.
okay, well, okay. I'm gonna ask you what was the coldest scene in the movie?
What was the
to
coldest
you.
scene in the movie?
Yeah, where it's like you saw it and you could see and feel what was happening. I'm gonna tell you what I know what it was for me, but I want to see if we think the same way, which I know we don't, but we
No,
do.
no. I think my favorite scene where I felt like everything was ramping up was when they invited Dame over for dinner.
Hmm.
And he was walking in the house,
Hmm.
saw the championships, he saw everything Adonis was building up. He's like, and in that to me, in that moment, you saw like, oh, this is supposed to be mine. I was the
Hmm.
one that was doing this shit.
Hmm.
And I'm in jail because of this motherfucker.
Hmm.
You know, you married to a real rock star. You got
Hmm.
this house, you got this, like all this different shit. And it's like, and then when Tessa Thompson, when she left to go put the daughter to bed, and they're
Hmm.
left talking on the rooftop,
Hmm.
I would have loved to have, I would have loved to have an inner like their conversation go in a way where Adonis was looking at him like
Well, he
something
kind of
close.
did when he walked in and gave Tessa Thompson the flowers. You see Adonis' face. He looked like, but that's his friend. So how do
Yeah.
you take that? You gave me no flowers. He said, "What you
No,
want to
but
kiss?"
I think to me that's a little like I would have loved their conversation up there
Hmm.
to be one where after like as he's talking, I'm looking at him like something ain't right. So this dude's smarter than this. He's smarter than I'm giving him credit for right now.
He should have peeked it at the lunch table when they get something to eat because he was verbally talking without talking, and
Yeah,
they both were. But
yeah,
the thing was, Adonis character or Adonis,
yeah,
he didn't know what
yeah,
Dane was saying,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Dane was like,
Yeah.
I'm about
Because in his head he's just thinking, yeah, he's asking for help, and I'm guilty of it. I think I think he should have peeped it at the record launch thing where he started
mm,
like when he finds out that he told Tessa Thompson about Leon.
mhm.
It's like that's where it should have hit. Like, why is he fucking telling you about that? You know,
Look,
it's just it's one of those things where I could see what they were going for.
mhm.
Just thought it could have went even deeper. It was there, it got there, but it
Yeah.
could.
Look, my favorite scene in the movie. I told you the coldest scene is when he goes to see him before he fights Felix, and they
Yeah.
take his ankle bracelet off.
Mhm.
And when they're standing with the wall between them, and they both stop and look at each other, but they can't see each other,
Yeah.
that shit was dope.
All right.
That's
So,
that's the best scene in the movie to me. You
all
know
right.
what I'm
So
saying?
is that the scene where you said you felt like, you know, things changed or like where,
It's where it's talking to you and you can hear everything it's saying, but there's no words because they both obviously can peep something. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And Michael B. Jordan is trying to be the bigger man, so to speak. Walks in, talks to him,
Yeah.
asks him how it feels to have an ankle bracelet off, all that good stuff. But when he walks out, he stops and pauses. And when he gets up to walk to the back, Dane stops and pauses, and they look like it's the scene is so dope because they look at each other, but they can't see each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a dope ass scene.
No, I like it. And again, I like it. And like, I just, I just wish,
But look at the
again,
imagery of it, though.
no,
I'm
no, no, the
sorry.
imagery. No, I'm saying that nothing wrong with that scene itself. I'm just saying in general with the conflict between Adonis and Dame.
Mhm.
After that moment, after that fight, I wish I really got a sense of Dame is almost like a mastermind.
Mm.
That's it. Like, this I'll be like the whole crew that was there at the beach. I
Mhm.
wish I wish it established that crew's actually been with Dame this entire time. It's just he didn't never let Adonis know that. He never let Adonis know that he's been training with these motherfuckers before. I don't know.
Mm.
It's just one of those things where like it felt like Dame won the championship and was just like, okay, he was a down on luck guy who won the championship. Where I wish it
Mhm.
would have been like it was actually a down on the luck mastermind who orchestrated this entire thing and was actually prepping for it for a while before he actually pulled it off. I don't know.
Okay, well, let's change gears real quick. Let's go to the mom.
Oh, Felicia
Uh,
Rashad,
yeah, her character.
Mrs. Huxtable.
I can't even say what I was gonna say. I can't say I was gonna say. I was gonna say this raggedy, but I can't do that. You know
Well,
what I'm
I
saying?
mean, okay, so let's okay, so
Because that's a catch 22 too.
yeah, it is.
Because
But
she said,
there's something else. There's something else about this part of the movie that I'm gonna get into after. But go
oh,
ahead.
oh, no, I mean, because like, it's a catch 22 too. Because she says something in the movie that I know I'm gonna get it wrong, but basically she says you got everything is because of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was basically telling him all your success is because I kept this from you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But in his mind, it's like that was my friend, that was my brother.
yeah. You didn't. It wasn't on you to make that decision for me, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Which is, yeah, I get it. I get because like as a parent,
Hmm.
as a parent, you can recognize, the bad eggs before the kid can.
Yeah.
You know, and it's it's hard because sometimes you sit there and you wanna. If I was young, if I was a teenager, I've gotten in arguments with my mom over some
Okay.
shit where I thought she stepped over the line and said some shit that I didn't agree with. But then,
Really?
yeah. But then later on, we'll get into that after off camera.
No, yeah, and that's all cool. I mean, it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
So
But
my mom had the famous smack. You said the wrong thing. Your lips was on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
listen,
This what it is.
my mom, I mean, I used to get my ass whooped till I was about 10 years old. But my mom, she's got one of the best. It's not an insult. It might be an insult, might be a threat.
Okay.
So I remember one time uh, I was in middle school and something happened. My mom said something about it was like literally like historical fact. And I was like, actually, mom, that didn't happen. This thing, it actually was like this.
Mhm.
And my mom looked at me and she goes, who taught you to talk back to your mama? Huh? Dude, I didn't send you to school to learn to talk back to your mom. send you to school to learn other stuff. I didn't send you to learn to school. I didn't send you to school to learn to talk back to your mom. I bet you if I left you back in Cambodia, you wouldn't be talking back to your mom. I was like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna give any facts no more.
Yeah. Oh man.
But no, it's just one of those things where it's like I can understand um a mother's motive.
Protection.
Yeah. Because they want to do what's best for their kid.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
At the same
And
time, it's like,
but who's to say that Dane was a bad apple?
well, because in her mind, Leon got beat up and he had a gun. So she doesn't know that fucking Adonis started it.
Or that, and she doesn't know that Leon was beating the shit out of them when they was in the institution.
Yeah, she just knows there was a fight and Dame had a gun. So if those are the facts she's working off of, she's doing
Mhm.
exactly what a parent should do. Hey,
Yeah.
stay away from these motherfuckers right here. These sagging pants motherfuckers.
I
Yeah,
mean,
here with their dirty sneakers and
if she had the
chains.
letters, she obviously had to read them.
Yeah, but did we get to read it? We don't even know what was in the letters.
Very true.
You know,
But
we don't know what he wrote, but I'm assuming it probably started off, hey man, what hides everything, and then it probably got presumably more toxic because eventually he gave back that
I
ticket.
mean,
He gave him.
but this is why it's a catch 22. It probably got more toxic because he didn't have the support of his friend. You know
Yeah,
what? I'm gonna be real with you. You know where I would be if I have you,
no, I know, I understand.
and that's a real fucking quote.
I
Do you know
understand
where
that.
I would be if I didn't have you?
Yes, but here's the thing. I know where you would be if you didn't have me. But my parents who don't know anything about you other than you're in jail because of some shit that happened and that me and you were at and you had a gun. So I
Mhm.
can't blame them for wanting to be like, hey man, stay away from him. I can't blame them for that.
Mm,
But I wouldn't like it because I know the truth. I know what happened. I know what my part in it. But
yeah.
I can't blame the parent for not knowing that because they don't know.
Mhm. I think this movie is all about catch 22s. Like you can be right and wrong in anything you do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because I mean, it's all about perspective, right?
Yeah.
One decision is right or wrong depending on your perspective of the situation.
Mm,
You know, Dame pulling out the gun.
yeah.
It's he probably shouldn't have pulled out the gun, but he was pulling it out to save his friend.
Yeah.
So Adonis running away. He should have probably stood there with his friend, but he was trying to save his life. Why
Yeah.
didn't you know? Why didn't Dame run?
Mm.
Or maybe they did. Maybe I think they said Dame ran, but he got caught. I don't know, but it's just one of those things where it's like
Yeah. Yeah. They
depending
did
on
say that.
depending on your point of view of the situation,
Mm.
what's right or wrong is very fluid.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. She
You
got.
ever
You
been
know
in
what
a
I mean?
situation? You ever been in a situation where you made a choice, but you know that if someone else was in the same situation, they could make a different choice, but they'd both be right?
Yeah.
Not big women, just regular choices. Listen, I know you,
I was
man.
being serious. God damn it.
I know you, yeah, but I understand like those kind of situations come your way more often than not. And
Hey, and it's my duty to please that booty. Just saying. Oh my god. Oh,
uh
this is terrible. Shit.
yeah, like you ever been in I'm not, they're not necessarily, you wouldn't need to know the situation, but you ever been in a situation where, you know, there were a bunch of different choices that could have been made in that situation, and each situation is equally as okay depending on your point of view?
Yeah. And I think that's I think where people like me and you get conflicted a lot. Because when we make decisions, if I'm wrong, correct me, but we do it with ourselves on the back burner.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, like our well-being is probably the last thing on the
yeah.
that's on
So,
that.
so even though we might be the first to do something, we're
Yeah,
not thinking about us.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Where in certain situations, like it might be more prevalent to think about yourself before everyone else, because if those people are the ones starting the situation, you
Hmm.
know you're not wrong for letting them handle it on their own. Like you
Mm,
started that shit. Stop starting shit and then expecting everyone else to fucking handle it for you.
mm.
There's a lot of people that do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my man will beat your ass up. I'm like, no, I'm not.
What
No,
Kevin Hart say? What you do?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What did you do? You know what I'm saying?
You're like, listen. If we both together and somebody run up and smack you, then you just got smacked. But I mean, like, there's a lot of people out there who are very comfortable starting a situation knowing that they have backup.
Mm,
And I think that's what Adonis's issue was in the situation. He started that situation knowing Dame was in the car.
mhm.
He already knew Dame had a gun. He saw it in the bag.
I can't agree to that.
Why is
And
that?
not, I mean, just because he's like just knowing the backstory of it.
Yeah, I no,
He's
I
he's
no,
he said I'm not a little boy no more. You know what I'm
I
saying?
I understand that. I'm not saying he wasn't wrong. I'm not saying he didn't have every right to beat up Leon.
Hmm.
I'm saying if Dame wasn't there with a gun in his bag, Adonis might not have popped off as quickly as he did.
Mm,
But I think he did it knowing damn well he had backup behind him,
mm,
you know? And I think that's something that happens a lot today, where people will start yapping at the mouth,
mhm,
getting into fights, knowing that if shit goes off, they got a whole crew of people behind them that are gonna jump in, not even
mm.
knowing the situation. They're just off of G, like we ride together,
Yeah.
you know? Because you and I both know, like when shit pops off, we're like, all right, we'll handle it, and then after
Mhm.
we're gonna fucking figure shit out.
Pretty much.
But like, what happens if all of a sudden you try to handle, like, some shit pops off and you're like, hey man, you shouldn't have started that fight. You handle that shit. Like they'd look at you like you're off, or you're out of pocket because you didn't fucking have their back.
Mm,
You're not wrong for not having their back in that situation, because that's a situation they didn't need to be in. Y'all didn't need to be in the first place.
true.
I don't know.
Mm.
What'd you think of the acting in this movie?
I got to give it up to
Jonathan Majors?
yeah.
Yeah.
The last few movies he's done. He's pretty good.
Brothers, a He's a
He,
good
he,
ass actor, bro.
he's pretty good. Like he played that jail mentality to a T. Not that I know about it, just saying. Um, uh, even in Ant-Man, he played like he was like a conqueror for real. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
When he did you see The Harder They Fall?
No, not yet.
I mean, even his character in that, like, I mean, I got to give it to him. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the TV show called Lovecraft Country, which
Hmm.
I've never seen the show, but I heard a lot of good things about it.
Mm,
I think that's where he's really like, started making a name for himself.
hmm.
But one thing I loved was like his head was always on a swivel. He never looked completely comfortable in any situation,
No, never.
which was fucking awesome. Cause it's like
Hmm.
at any point, he's just keeping an eye out, making sure shit doesn't pop off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say his performance is Oscar worthy, but he's definitely from the acting I've seen him do in the movies
Yeah.
I've seen him,
Yeah.
like he's
Yeah, he's
I'll give it to him.
I think with the right role, he can easily be up like for an Oscar.
Yeah,
The right role.
yeah.
Man, what do you think what about Michael B. Jordan's like direction in this movie? Because like I said, that's some of his choices are the reason why I don't consider this a like a sports movie. It's more
Hmm.
like a fighting movie.
Hmm.
Because specifically the choices he made during that last fight, the way they shot it was dope,
Yeah,
but it was more like a fighting movie, you know?
yeah. But we disagree all the time. This is what we do.
Yep.
Um, I liked it
No, I liked it
because
too. I actually loved it. I
okay.
loved the way he shot the last fight.
Mhm.
But I'm not watching that fight thinking, "Oh, I'm watching a boxing match." I'm watching a fight.
Well, yeah, because of the animosity between the two of them, or one having animosity and one having to defend it.
No, I understand, but I think the way it was shot and the choices they made didn't make it feel like a sports movie.
Mm.
That makes sense. It just made it feel like more of a fight, more of a graphic novel thing, which I know that's what he was going for.
Okay, well then, okay. Well, with that being said, you got to watch Creed 2 then, because I don't think Creed 2 was a boxing movie.
Okay, I'll have to watch it.
Okay, I'm just saying Creed 2 was more about avenging his father.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. But no, but you know
But
how like okay, so you know how like some movies are like it's a drama. Okay, you seen The Fighter, right? With Mark
Mark
Wahlberg?
Wahlberg and yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
Christian
so
Bale, yeah.
it's a drama set within the world of boxing, right?
Okay, yeah,
So when you watch it, it's still a drama, but it still feels like it's about boxing. This felt more like it's a drama and these guys are fighting. It just so happens that their style of fighting is boxing. If that makes sense. Like
okay.
if I was watching Bloodsport and
Hmm.
like two boxers got into the kumite, that's what I was watching at the end, not a boxing match.
Gotcha.
That's all. Which there's nothing wrong with that. I actually would love to see Michael B. Jordan direct an action just based off this.
Mm. Because the end was the 11th round when they both connected with each other.
Mhm.
I like the fact they hit and they both felt it, but didn't go down.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they hit each other hard.
Yeah.
When they got done, they looked at each other like, okay.
I loved when Michael B. Jordan took the gut shot and the sweat went off his back and he's just like, and
Yeah,
he goes down because like in movies, a lot of times like it's always the knockout, it's always the punch, and like
yeah,
not just a gut punch, but seeing like you felt like his air was coming out,
yeah.
do shit.
Like, I mean, I can't say it's gonna happen in real life because I don't know, but just think, like, you get hit that hard in your stomach and the sweat off your back bounces up.
Hmm.
Ain't that some shit?
Hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, for his directorial debut,
Mhm.
I'm not saying it was the best movie, but I see a lot of promise in his.
Oh yeah, out of a scale of 1 to 10, as a director,
Yeah,
I give him at least a 7, 8 for this one.
I'll give him a 6.
For directing for the first time.
Just because I think the first half of the movie wasn't that strong, but the second half was really strong. That's
Mm.
all. That first half of the movie, it sounded like I hate to say it, but it sounded like Michael B. Jordan when he was talking. It sounded like a commercial. Like when when he was when he
He's
was
kind
talking, sometimes it sounded like they were trying to find the right thing to say instead of the
mhm,
honest thing to say.
mm,
Like, when they talk, "Hey man, what you doing? Oh yeah, you my boy." Yeah, like it just is the attitude he had when he was talking. It didn't sound like honest to a situation. It just sounded like, oh, I gotta try to be natural right now. And it just, to me, some certain times it didn't come across as natural to me.
okay.
Like when he realizes that it's Dame in the commercial for the trailer, where he just goes, "Dame," like he says like real soft and slow. But then
Mhm,
this one in the movie, he's just like, "Dame," like it's just the way it was. I was like,
mm,
it don't look like you just saw someone that you haven't seen in 18 years.
mm.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that, I guess.
But like literally I think from the Felix fight on, it was a
Mhm,
really strong movie. I think
mm,
before that, it was a little, I don't know.
yeah.
What do you think about like the aspect of like there's been a lot of like deaf people in movies lately? Like there's this movie, in Eternals, they had the one superhero who was deaf.
Oh yeah.
Um,
That that I don't even talk about the Eternals.
what?
It wasn't a
It's
good
dope.
joint.
That
No,
movie is dope.
the fuck it wasn't.
Yes, it was. That movie was fucking dope.
It was all right.
Oh, get out of here.
It was all right.
Get out of here. You just
It,
don't know what
it
you're
was all
talking
right.
about. You don't know
It
what you're
was all
talking
right.
about.
I
Just because they
watched
didn't
it.
have no booty shaking and no twerking. Oh, yeah, get out of here.
They had no Tims.
You don't
No,
like it because they had a strong Asian man as a superhero, fucking Gilgamesh.
shit. He died, didn't he?
Did he?
But,
He was the one that was protecting Angelina
yeah, yeah,
Jolie.
yeah. He died. Shit. D
Well,
had
what Asian lives matter?
that's your that's your other thick Asian shit. But
Bolo and
yeah.
Gilgamesh. Those two fucked up names too.
Oh God. Um,
You know what's gonna redeem it? Fucking Donnie Yen and John Wick.
he ain't thick though.
I know, but he's gonna rectify for
Look,
Asian superheroes or
look.
Asian action stars.
Nah, not the end. He's in the league of his own.
Yeah, dude's a
Like
beast.
I've watched plenty of his movies and his hand speed. I mean, I'm not gonna say whether it's natural or camera because I really don't know. But
That dude's
um,
nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Would you Would you think of the relationship uh that they established with the daughter, the deaf daughter?
Oh, I thought that was cool. I thought that was normal or natural rather.
I thought it was good.
Hmm.
Part of me was hoping that something like they would. Part of me was hoping they delved a little more into her anger issues. You know how she,
Mm.
she fought the
Okay.
girl in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
She fought the girl in the beginning, and then Adonis was like teaching her a little bit how to fight, but didn't really get into it that much.
You think that might have been too much for the movie?
It might have
Be-
been, but like
yeah.
if you're gonna put it in there, I would have at least.
Okay. On the surface level, in my opinion, I think they put it in there just to show because she said she saw her dad's fights.
Mhm.
So in her mind, if you want to solve a problem, hit him.
Yeah, no, I
You
get
know
it.
what I'm
I get it, but I felt like if you're gonna raise that problem in the movie,
saying?
I think go a little more with it. That's all.
Mm,
But that was my issue with the movie. Is this? It felt like everything was at a 7, and it could have
mhm,
really went to a 10. There was a lot of things there where an extra 20 minutes
mhm,
and some more emotion, and it would have really ramped it all the way up.
mm,
Because like you got a sense that Dame was down on his luck, but you didn't really get a sense that he was down on his luck, only because you knew he was out of jail and stuff like that.
mhm,
Like, I would have loved to see him a little more, just like, almost trying to survive, like really trying to do whatever in order to fucking get back in the ring.
mm. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This was definitely an emotional ride. Like I want the movie that I just was oh they had to sit there and let it marinate for a minute. Now honestly, I'm actually happy that I watched it today and we're having a conversation because I
Yeah.
think it would have sat in my brain for at least about 2 or 3 days. just like understanding how real life aspects played into this movie. And like I told you, my biggest one is at the end, like how many children are in bad situations that are not their fault,
Yeah.
and then they grow up to do bad things or just misunderstood or whatever.
Yeah.
But where do they come
But,
from?
but one of the dopest lines in there was when he said, when Dame tells Adonis, like, it wasn't on you to keep in touch. It
Hmm.
wasn't on you to do all these things, and for my life. Like that wasn't on you. And
Yeah.
Adonis looks at him and goes, yeah, it wasn't on you either. Like we were just like, yeah, again, we were just kids. Like
Hmm.
they made the choices they made based off of the situations they were in.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have been in those situations to begin with.
Yeah.
And that's a very hard thing to come to grips with as you get older.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, I feel like, I ain't no expert, but a lot
Mm.
of times I feel like, you grow up and you just own your past. Like,
Mm.
yeah, these are the things that happened to me, but I own it and I made my peace with it.
Mm.
But it's like sometimes you look back and you be like, okay, this happened, but I did it because of this. When in reality, you got to look at him like, I shouldn't have been in that position anyway.
Yeah.
Like and I don't want to play a victim, but at the same time, like those are situations where it's a lose lose for whoever's involved. And
Yeah.
the fact that a child is in that situation, ugh, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Okay, here's another question. Because
Hmm.
they put it into the movie, but it didn't really have any ramifications as far as the movie itself. So when Dame is in that the Golden Globes fight,
Yeah. Hmm.
and Adonis looks in the bag, sees the gun, grabs the money, then goes outside and places the bet on the girl, with the
Hmm.
girl, and then Duke sees it, but
Mm.
like he didn't really. He gets a little money from Dame after. That's it.
I mean, but hold on. Since you brought that up, Duke been around for a hot minute.
Yep.
I just realized that when you said that.
Yeah. He looked exactly the same, but he just had gray hair.
Yeah. Excuse me.
But it was one of those things where when I saw it, I was just like, okay, I get it, but like, I don't think you really needed that interaction.
Mm.
I don't know what it really established as far as their relationship, um, or the view that Duke would have of them both.
Mm.
Because he didn't
Yeah.
really change anything. You know,
Yeah.
why did like Duke being at that fight? What did it really have to do? Like, is that the reason why he?
Unless he was there looking for new talent.
Okay, but we know that at that time, what is it? Dame ends up going to jail, and then
Hmm.
Adonis, like he comes along later on. So Duke wouldn't have had to know him at that fight for him to
Mm.
have any kind of like relationship with him.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of one of those things.
Mm.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
Which way?
Um,
Who do you connect with more? Duke, Adonis,
that's
or
what I'm saying.
Drago?
Both. No, Duke and Adonis. But I know both sides of that fence. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but who do you? Yeah, okay, you know both sides of that fence. Who do you
Mm.
who do you connect with more? I could tell you who you connect with more.
Who?
Dame. Yo, boy,
Yeah.
y'all both,
I'm gonna do whatever's necessary to get my point across. I don't care.
y'all both dark as shit.
You're fucking up my vibe, man. This movie was serious and you're making me laugh.
No,
Oh man.
in all honesty, I see you connecting more with Dame just because it's like I see someone who been dealt a bad hand,
Hmm.
is trying to make the best of it, and those decisions, in order to try to make the best of it, might
Hmm.
not be the best decisions or not be the most moral decisions.
No,
But
no.
the perspective that you're coming at is, I'm trying to get back what I lost. And by what you lost is 18, 20 years of my life.
Hmm. That's why I said what I said earlier. I've always been that way. I learned at a young age. Sometimes you gotta take a hit to give a hit.
Yeah.
Because I've taken some hits, but the hit I give back, people don't come back from.
Is that a
Just
good
say, I'll sleep at night.
thing? Yeah, but I didn't say whether you were okay with it. I said, is it a good thing? Because, you know, being in a position where you got to give a hit where someone doesn't come back, like, it's not just the fact that you're given that hit. It's the fact that what what choices did you make to put you in that position to have to give that hit?
Because I know I got a good heart. That's always my issue. Like anything I do, if I'm choosing to do it, there's never something in return I want.
Yeah.
I did it because I wanted to do it
Yeah.
to help somebody else. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And when I feel like that gets played with or taken advantage of,
Mhm.
it's like, well, I gotta hurt you back. You know what I'm saying?
Do you
Because you
have to
didn't
hurt the person back?
because you
Do
didn't
you
have to
have
hurt
to, or do you
I-
want to?
both. Because
No,
I
no, no,
need you.
no, no, no,
No,
no. Those aren't mutually exclusive. Those aren't mutually.
yes, they. Oh, no, I'm about to
No, they're
explain it to
not.
you.
Yeah.
They're both because you didn't have to choose to do what you did to me.
Yeah.
Knowing what I did for you was good.
Yeah. But
You know what I'm saying?
why are you making decisions based off of what other people do?
Because they did it.
Yeah, they
Every action has a reaction.
Yep. Every action has a reaction, but the fact that you're making your choices based off of what other people do instead of making your choices based off of what you want to do.
Because I can't sleep at night knowing I'm letting this shit ride with no
Yes, you can.
problem.
Yes, you can.
No, the
That's a
fuck.
choice. That's a choice that you make for yourself to either accept something and and be like, all right, like I can just write this motherfucker off and not deal with this motherfucker
Nah, I
ever,
want to make it.
ever again,
I want
ever
to make
again.
I want to make them remember who I am.
Yep, yep. And that's petty Chris. I call that petty Chris. Okay. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm
Okay,
just saying that that choice leaves open the possibility of them making a choice based off of what you did.
but if you do it right, they don't have a choice. Just
And
saying.
listen, I'm just saying, like maybe maybe cutting off the snake at at its head,
Hmm.
cutting it off at the stomach, and allowing it to may possibly still bite you is might not be the best decision in the world.
I mean, yeah, but that's all. Man, that's always been my mo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
listen, listen. Just because it's always been doesn't mean it needs to always be.
yeah.
That's
But
all
like I
I'm
said,
saying.
but like
And I know I
what,
know I sound like I'm coming off a high horse.
oh no, 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 no. Oh, well, I know who I'm talking to, so I'm not tripping.
Yeah.
But
I'm just
what
saying,
DMX said something though. Favorite rapper X, rest in peace. He said, "It seems like I've been called on to show you, so I'm gonna show you. So if God calls you to do a job, it's up to you to do it. Just say it. That's the way I look at it."
yeah, he also said what these bitches want from a
Oh my God, I can't stand you. And hey, on that note, if God calls you to do a job, give it to him. You know what I'm saying?
listen, but I get it. I get it. Listen, I understand. It's not me saying you're not within the realm of reasoning for making the choices you make. All
Mm,
I'm saying is there's a choice you can make where it offers up the possibility of retaliation.
mm,
There's a choice you can make where you can cut it off at the head and let this go. But in order to do that, you don't get maybe the same satisfaction that you would over here.
mm,
But what's the better choice?
mm.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about sucking up your own ego and your own pride and being like, I don't want the possibility of anything else happening, not necessarily for me, for the other people around me. Because the one thing that we both know is we can take anything.
Mm,
But if anyone else gets hurt based off of some shit that I did,
yeah.
that's something I can't live with.
That's a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it's simple too. You could even just, hey, I decided to put a bunch of pepper in this lasagna and everybody got the shits after. I feel bad. But that's surface. That's surface. I mean, there's other,
Yeah. Yeah.
go
Yeah.
deeper than that.
No, I get what you're saying.
That's all.
I get what you're saying.
But listen, you know what sucks? Is like I can't be Asian talking like the Dalai Lama and shit. That's fucked up.
Who's your Asian?
Confucius say,
What you got? Fucking Buddha. That's who you got.
yeah,
Buddha didn't talk. All he did was eat.
Yeah, he eat, smiled, sat Indian. How you that big and still be able to sit Indian style? That's fucking.
Yeah, I've seen him do it. I don't know how. I don't know.
You know what's funny? You always see Buddha sitting. You never see him getting up.
Because they fucking can't. Once they get stuck in that position, they say, "Yo, keep feeding me. I'm not going nowhere." You know what I'm saying?
You seen Italian Job, right?
Yeah.
The big Samoan dude that they go talk to at the Top Golf.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's like a Samoan Buddha right there.
No, this a big dude in excuse me. Matter of fact, he's in a Donnie movie. Um,
Was Sammo Hung?
I don't know his name, but he's
He
actually very flexible.
was in Ip Man too. He was
What
fighting
was
on the table.
yeah, there you go.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's Sammo Hung, man. First of all, you don't say a big dude when you talk about Sammo Hung. Sammo Hung is one of the big three out of Chinese. Sammo Hung, Jackie Chan, and Yuan Biao. They were because they
They're
were
not
no, they were all in the Chinese theater school at the same time.
oh,
They all
okay.
trained together, and when they graduated, they all went and did their movies.
But him as a big dude, it can still do the splits and all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, big dudes is flexible.
No,
But they got to be flexible. How else they gonna come down the chimney?
what? Hold on, that's not even Asian for one. Shit. And everybody knows ain't no cheese in the hood.
I don't know. Here comes the
Yeah.
furnace.
Shit, knock on the front door.
Hey, Stanley, just slide it through the mailbox.
Yeah,
Slide through the slot. You good?
pretty much. Oh
Watch
man.
out for the pit bull.
Oh gosh. I'm getting tired, dude. I gotta
Anyways,
be up
all
early.
right. Final thoughts on Creed 3.
Um
What was your ultimate takeaway from this movie? Because again, it was a really emotional roller coaster.
indeed. I feel like I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. Um your past is always gonna catch up with you eventually.
Man, that's so similar to what I was gonna say.
It's true.
All right,
No
so
matter
what
what you
happens?
do, no
What
matter
do you
what
do
you do
when
in
that
this
moment
world,
happens?
hmm?
What do you do when that moment happens? When your past
Own
catches?
it, own up, own up. That's all you can do. Even if your past is a good past, then you'll have a hopefully you have a good future.
Do
But
you
your
think?
past is always going to catch up to you.
Do you felt like Adonis owned up to his past?
Yeah, which is why they went and sat and talked after the fight.
I felt like they sat and talked that fight because it was the end of the movie. I just don't feel like if I'm Adonis, I don't feel like I was pushed to step out of retirement just yet.
Hmm.
I don't feel like there was enough
Well,
conflict.
he called his dad out. He said Apollo would be. What did he say? He,
Listen, he didn't even know his dad.
but still, if you're living up to his name,
Listen, if you
we talked about this in
no, no,
Strange
listen,
World. Look,
listen.
I'm pointing at you too, goddamn
No, 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 listen, listen.
it.
If someone was talking to you right now, talking shit to you, and be like, "Yo, your dad would be ashamed of you," you'd be like, "I don't know that motherfucker."
Pretty much.
Exactly. Like
But my dad ain't shit.
well,
I'm just saying. And yes, I said it on camera. My dad ain't shit.
yeah, but
It is
I'm just saying, like, it's not like he had that childhood and the memories between him and his dad to really for that to be that deep of a dick.
okay. I see that. But if you know that your dad was actually like he didn't know him as a person. We all know that.
Mhm.
But he was a boxer and he
Yep.
died in the ring.
Yep.
And people respected him as a boxer. If that's all you get to live off of, like if I knew my dad um did one thing good, like he just walked around helping homeless people,
Yep.
he could have been a dick the whole rest of his fucking life. But if he did that and they told me that, I'm gonna hold on to that
Yep.
because I know even though the fact that we had no relationship,
Mhm.
he was doing something good. Maybe
Yeah.
not everything, but he was
Yeah.
doing something good. So if you want to challenge the good that I have left of him, then I gotta, yeah, you fuck with my emotions.
I feel like Adonis is more attached to if he said Rocky would be ashamed of you. I get that it's a Creed movie, but I
Okay.
feel like he's got more of a connection with Rocky than he does Apollo. So I don't feel like Dame insulting him by saying your dad would be ashamed of you is that deep of a dig. It's a dig, not that deep. I don't know. And that's the thing. I feel like there's more to their childhood that he could probably use as a fucking dig than
Yeah.
anything.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Let's just say your dad wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying?
They say my dad was
Okay.
the shit
No,
or
let's
a
just say
shit.
let's just say he wasn't shit.
Oh, he
Let's just
wasn't shit.
yeah,
Okay.
okay, let's just say the last memory of your dad was you coming to the United States, and when he got here, something happened and he died.
Yep.
All you know is you came to the United States. You could meet your family, this, that, whatever. And they'd be like, yeah, your dad did that, whatever, whatever, whatever. But they'd be like, he got you here. You're gonna hold on to he got you here. You know what I'm saying? He could have been doing God knows what in Cambodia, but
Okay.
he got you here.
Okay.
And if somebody challenges that, you're gonna go ape shit crazy.
Okay. Okay. But just hear me out right now. Hear me out.
Okay.
Apollo Creed did not get Adonis anywhere. He didn't do anything for Adonis. Rocky did more for Adonis than Apollo. So you telling me, yo, your dad would be ashamed of you. So he didn't do anything for me. If he said my mom, if he said
Mm,
Rocky, all that shit, okay, you know.
mm,
But it's just one of those things where it's like, I get it. Apollo Creed's my dad, and he was a in the boxing world, he was a great man. But that's
mm.
like saying, your dad was, the best basketball player in the world, but he, other than mailing your mom a check every month, he didn't do shit. Look at 50 Cent and his son. I'm saying, like,
Where about those 50s crazy?
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if you're an absent father, then someone insulting my dad in that moment,
Mm.
I'd see what he's trying to do, but I don't know if I feel like it's a deep enough dig for me to be like, I'm coming out of retirement to whoop your ass. Just yet.
Okay, I get your point, and I'm gonna give you a scenario. I remember growing up, and I've only been told this once and maybe twice in my life,
Mhm.
but it pissed me off. It was like, "You're just like your dad." And I was
See,
like, "Hold on, wait. I'm gonna tell you why it pissed me off. How am I just like somebody I don't fucking know?
it pissed you
You
off because the only thing you know about him was he ain't shit. So if they're saying you're like your dad, they're saying you ain't shit because that's
mm,
all you know of him, you know?
mm,
So how am I so in the movie sense, this dude would be ashamed of me, but as far as I know, he was an absentee father. Be ashamed of me,
mm,
you know?
mm.
Again, caveat, I haven't seen Creed 2, so maybe some shit happened in Creed 2 that made me fall in love with my dad. But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
if you can't. I would have taken more of a dig if not from him. Like that could have pushed me over the top. But if people were chastising my daughter for me getting my fighter fucked up, I'd take that more personally than what he said.
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
that's just me. I don't know. My
What are your
takeaway from
final,
this movie was, well, go ahead.
okay, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is you are not your past. Your future is not your past. So
Mhm,
just because you feel like you have to atone for some mistakes in your past
mhm,
does not mean you're what's the word? Does not mean you're expected to or you're required to.
mm,
Like you might have made choices in your past, but then if you made it past there and you got out of there, it's not it shouldn't be an expectation for you to then have to go and still atone for your past.
mm,
You know? Because there's a lot of people who will sit there and you do if you're a ruffian in the hood and you're doing some shit and you finally like work past that, you get out of that mentality,
Mhm.
then some shit happens and people want to still hang that over your head. Like, I already got past that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna have to atone for that again just so that my future can keep living on.
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an emotional movie. Not as emotional as I would have hoped, but an
Hmm.
emotional movie. And it's not a great sports movie. Just people, if you're listening, it's not a great sports movie, but it's a good movie.
Yeah. I just think I
I just
watch
think
this.
you're I just think you feel great about it because you're like, I want abs. At this movie, I want abs. I need to do push-ups.
Oh shit. Nah.
Yeah. You know damn well you was watching Jonathan Majors like, lucky motherfucker.
Honestly, when he was climbing both the ropes, I was like, I used to be able to do that. I used to be.
Motherfucking liar.
I used to. Oh shit.
Damn well you wasn't climbing no ropes like that.
I was in the military. Yes, I was.
Man, listen, the only ropes you was climbing was to, get away from pit bulls running at you and some shit. Yeah, ain't no
I,
way.
I was jumping fences. I was an athlete at one point in my life. God damn it!
The Hood Olympics,
Hell
running
yeah.
pit bulls, holding on to
Running
holding
from the
on to the
cops,
back
all
of
kind
the
of shit.
holding on to the back of the FedEx truck and sledding.
Oh, it's like hell yeah. Oh man, what do we call that growing up? Oh man, what was it called? Bumper slider. There you
Yeah,
go.
bumper sliding. Yeah, that was the best. Just
Hell
hide
yeah.
behind the bushes. Truck come. Yeah.
Just run behind it, grab on and go. Oh
Oh,
man.
God damn. Man, yeah, that's a imagine if that was an Olympic event. Uh,
Oh man.
yeah, no, it was definitely a good movie. And as far as Michael B. Jordan's first directorial debut, I'm actually excited to see what he can do next. Because I think part of the issue I have with the movie is less about his direction and more about the script. Like it was
Hmm.
just again, I thought the script could have been deeper, or maybe it was deeper and they just cut some shit out. Either
Hmm.
way, I'm curious to see what he can do with like a meaty fucking script.
Hmm.
And then Jonathan Majors, man, that's a beast.
Like you said, if he get the right role, he he might do something.
Yeah. Yeah. What's a role you would want to see him play? Just off the basis of watching him as Kang, watching
Hmm.
this movie, not necessarily a specific character, but like what type? Yeah, I mean, what type of character would you want to see him portray next? For example, like a lawyer or like shit like that. Like,
As crazy as it sounds, I'd like to see him as like a new Denzel in Training Day, like a role like that, like real cool, real laid back, but real ruthless.
okay,
I think he can pull it off like really, really well.
I want to see him in a real like. I want to see him as a cutthroat businessman.
Mm.
I could see. I just for some reason I just picture him in a suit, fucking just ripping someone to shreds verbally,
Mm.
and just like being like almost like a hedge fund manager or someone who's like someone who's like running a Ponzi scheme. And it's
Okay.
just like, yeah, I just for some reason I feel like just his facials and the way he talks, like he could be like a white collar businessman, but then the way he approaches it is almost like fucking LL Cool J and In Too Deep.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then do you ever seen somebody with like that like the hood or the thug mentality, but just in a different setting? Kind of like that. That's what I'm picturing. I feel like he
Mm.
could bring that type of mentality to a very white collar setting, and it would just be a really good dynamic.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. I don't think there's never been a movie like that, has it?
Uh, no, because every time you see hood, like people, it's always like hood movies, like Paid in Full, In Too
Hmm.
Deep, Above the Rim, like movies where like those type of characters are within the realm of like the hood.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's a more like white collar scenario where they've been in there. I don't know.
Mm-mm. I can't think of one. May-
Anyways, I actually want to see him in a comedy too. I think he'd be really good in a comedy,
hmm. I
like a
can see that.
Friday comedy.
Okay. Okay.
not slapstick, but like
Yeah.
not serious.
Yeah. You gotta watch The Harder They Fall though, if you ain't seen it yet.
Oh yeah,
Let me know what you think about that.
because it's like him and is Idris Elba in that?
Idris Elba, what's her name? Regina Hall? Or is it Regina King? Regina King?
Gina
Uh,
King.
um
Um,
Zazie Beats.
yeah.
Um
Is the dude from? There's another dude in there. The
I can't think of his name, but he was in Get Out. He
skinny
was
black
in
dude.
yeah. Um he was also in
He was in Atlanta. He's in Atlanta.
yeah, that guy.
I know who is. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, good movie. Good movie.
Definitely.
All right. Well,
All right, brother.
that's
I
it
guess
for this week's episode. As always, it's your boy Sarath, aka Makazi.
and your boy Chris Brown, aka Red Fort Delta. Y'all be good out there.
Sure. And as always, dress like the American flag like Chris does, because that's what he does.
I love America.
And
We got whiskey, guns,
that Alabama's
and white women.
really it's really going into Chris right now. Next thing you know, his
Yeah.
new truck's gonna be lifted. He's gonna have the flag in the back.
Nah, I ain't doing all that. I might have a shotgun back there though.
Oh yeah, around the back. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I would
I
too.
might do that.
I would too. There's a lot
Maybe
of
maybe some antlers on the front. Who knows?
put the little
Just saying.
put the little the fucking the steer horns on the front.
Hell yeah. Oh man.
Next time I see you,
Shit.
you probably gonna have like overalls with no shirt on.
Oh, I'll do that on the regular if I had them.
Yeah.
That's a free feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your nipples be chafed as fuck though.
That's why you got. That's why we got cocoa butter.
All right, we out.